Donald Trump's false narratives are collapsing, and he's in panic mode. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, Trump wasn't mourning his friend. When asked about Kirk this morning, he said he feels great, then bragged about a ballroom. That's who he is. A man obsessed with himself, not with loss, not with truth. Now, his favorite narrative is crumbling because the shooter's own family is speaking out and destroying the lies Trump has been peddling. We're going to break down the many falsehoods Trump just got caught in and how they're tearing apart his MAGA movement. But first, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe. It helps us keep exposing this chaos. Let's start with Don Jr., who rushed to spin this tragedy with one of the most despicable attacks yet.
They realize they lost the debate entirely, so they have to resort to violence. And contrary to what we're seeing elsewhere and online, it is not going both ways. It is going one way. It's coming from those aligned with the Democrat Party. The hate has been fomented by those in the Democrat Party, and you can probably play hundreds of hours of those clips. It's coming from the media. Some of them are doing a quick course correction and probably scrub their social media feeds for all the things they've said about Charlie, myself, my father over the last few years. But you can't call someone who you disagree with or simply can't win an argument with a Nazi, a fascist, a dictator, a greatest threat to democracy in the history of civilization, and then pretend you had nothing to do with it when the more radical wing, and there does not seem to be all that much difference to me these days, takes up arms and tries to kill those they disagree with. It's not one way. It's not both ways. It is simply one way. And anyone who's saying otherwise, should be thrown off the air.
They want us quiet. They're trying to use Charlie Kirk's death as a way to silence progressives. For months, we've talked about how Donald Trump was searching for any distraction from the Epstein files, and now he's found one. His allies are already saying we need to tone down criticism, as if holding Trump accountable is somehow dangerous. Let's be clear. Pointing out corruption, exposing authoritarian moves, and warning about attacks on our democracy is not reckless rhetoric. The real inflammatory language comes from the right, and I refuse to be silent about that. If we let them succeed in shutting us up, it will only get worse.
Throwing it up against the wall since everything else is not working for them.
No, there is data that people don't have faith in the Supreme Court, which right now is an arm of the Republican
on the
Party.
Fascism part.
100%. That's what's resonating with right-leaning independents and with Republican voters that are open to voting for her, that Haley block, the Liz Cheney block. But they aren't using this because they're not getting it from a direct source that worked with him. So they're getting this from Mark Milley and from John Kelly, who gave on-the-record interviews. You can hear it in John Kelly's own voice talking about it. And the central premise of this and of so many things when it comes to Donald Trump is that we should just not take his words seriously. That Kamala's words matter and what Donald Trump says doesn't. Because guess what? Donald Trump calls Kamala a fascist quite regularly. He did it last month a couple times. He did it in August. Jake Tapper, just in the last hour, was playing audio of it. And so not only does he call her a fascist, he also calls her a communist. And last time I checked, communists were pretty bad. Mao, Stalin, they're responsible for over 100 million people's deaths. George Bush commemorated the lives lost to communism in 2007, I believe that it was. So spare me, as usual.
This is their playbook to say that the liberals, they've taken it too far, that the words they're using, they're endangering Mr. Trump. They use they are coming for us. Well, you know who they has been? Right-wing extremists again and again and again, because you inflamed them, not us. Mind you, it was J.D. Vance, his fat face, and all who called Donald Trump America's Hitler first. Wasn't me. It wasn't you. And the conditions that create a climate where we see the policy failure that is mass shooting after mass shooting, school shooting after school shooting, that is not my fault. That's not your fault. We don't need to apologize for that because we've lived that apology every day and fighting for it to end. But the right refuses to acknowledge our cries and the cries of children. That is the circumstance that they've set up. And it's why it's no surprise to me that Donald Trump's narrative has lied that this shooter was trans or a person of color is being blown up by the shooter's own family. Charlie Kirk's suspect's grandma says family is all MAGA. Tyler Robinson, 22, the man arrested in connection with the assassination of Charlie Kirk, comes from a MAGA family, his grandmother revealed. Although MAGA figureheads have been quick to point fingers at the left for Kirk's death, Tyler's grandmother, Debbie Robinson, insisted that they come from a family of Trump supporters. She spoke with the Daily Mail on Friday after news of Robinson's arrest broke. My son, his dad, is a Republican for Trump, Debbie told the outlet. Most of my family members are Republican. I don't even know anyone who's a Democrat. According to the outlet, Robinson's father, Matt, 48, was the one to turn Tyler into the authorities after he confessed to the grisly crime. Debbie has not been able to get in touch with her son since news of her grandson's arrest went public. I'm just so confused, Debbie said of her grandson's arrest. Tyler is the shyest person, she said. He has never, ever spoke politics to me at all. She insisted that Robinson has never, ever gotten in trouble in his entire life. On Friday morning, Donald Trump announced after a day-long manhunt, a suspect had been taken into custody after Kirk was shot dead. According to public records, Robinson's parents are both registered Republicans. Tyler Robinson was previously registered as a nonpartisan voter, but according to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, he had become more political in recent years. Cox added that Robinson had told a family member he disliked Kirk and mentioned that Kirk was coming to Utah Valley. Another reporter on Twitter noted that, according to Utah officials in police interviews with the family, Tyler Robinson hated Charlie Kirk because Kirk wasn't conservative enough. Robinson reportedly admired Nick Fuentes. GOP peers are now scrubbing ex post about Dems faster than Donald Trump and the DOJ erase names in the Epstein files. For those who don't know, Nick Fuentes is a far-right streamer long tied to the extreme end of the political spectrum, a figure who's been widely condemned for anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial. He publicly clashed with Charlie Kirk for years, and now, as the dust settles, Fuentes is suddenly recanting and claiming admiration for Kirk. Don't buy it. This is the same figure who traffics in hate and spectacle. Let's be straight about Charlie Kirk, too. He was not a free speech martyr. Yes, he built a massive network of young conservative activists, and that organizational model is something the left should study. But his politics were often driven by outrage and bigotry, and much of his media playbook was crafted for profit. He went on campus tours because viral clips of him confronting students made him famous and funded his platform. If Kirk truly cared about free expression, he'd have stood up for those targeted by government repression, like Mahmoud Khalil, who has been detained after criticizing the Israeli government. Kirk didn't lead those fights. His free speech was often a vehicle for attacking marginalized people, not defending universal rights. So spare me the performative sorrow. Don't let Republicans weaponize this moment to posture or to slow down real conversations about policy and accountability. We won't let them stall progress with manufactured grief. Jasmine Crockett said it best. And we'll play her response next.
Well, during this presentation, you spoke at length about the importance of vaccines. In fact, one of your slides stated, quote, clusters of under or non-immunization have the potential to foster transmission of vaccine-preventable diseases, including measles. Is this a slide from your presentation, yes or no?
I haven't reviewed that presentation recently,
so we're going to go you don't know. You work under someone who has become the face of the anti-vax movement. So who's right, you or the secretary?
Thank you so much for that.
You or the secretary?
I would like to tell you that Secretary
You or the
Kennedy
secretary?
is challenging us to use gold standard.
So you're going to filibuster, and I only have 25 seconds. So I'm going to go with you, assume you, but you know that he's your boss. This administration has lost all credibility with the American people and our global partners. No one believes you care about improving health outcomes when you're slashing NIH research into Alzheimer's disease, women's health, cancer, and diabetes. No one believes you care about public health when you cut programs that support maternal and child health and eliminate Healthy Start. No one believes you care about children when you implement the largest cut to Medicaid in history. Americans know the truth, and the truth is that this administration, with the help of Congressional Republicans, has unleashed the most significant assault on public health in American history. The people will die as a result. I yield back the remainder of my time.
Okay, pursuant to Committee Rule 9C, the majority and minority shall each have 5 additional minutes to question the witnesses. You might want to let you go first, Mr. Bell.
That would be nice, Mr. Chair. Thank you. Before I have
We'll keep calling them out again and again. I won't be silenced. You've told me you like this sharper tone, so I'll keep bringing it. Straight talk, no softness when the stakes are this high. We'll keep digging into the Epstein files, and we won't let conservative media reframe tragedy as an excuse to shut down debate. Guys like Jesse Waters crossed a line. He should be held accountable. If you want to support this work, hit subscribe, leave a like, and drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.